Hello and welcome to episode 93 of Dunk's Movie Corner, Dunk's Movie Corner pod or podcast. Whatever you want to call it, that's what this normally is. I don't really want to go through the whole opening spiel of the background of what this is, so obviously there's 92 episodes prior you can look into. There's Spotify, there's YouTube, there's Instagram. If you're curious, so I'm just going to kind of get into it this week. I only watched two movies, and then I've watched two seasons of a show, starting with Striking Distance from 1993. This is Bruce Willis, mainly with a little bit of Sarah Jessica Parker. It's not good. It's hard not to like Bruce Willis, but this movie is so badly written, both the conversations and then it constantly writes itself into a corner, and then they're like, oh shit. What do we do now? I guess we need to completely loophole this whole last scene. Uh, it's not good. It's set on the Pittsburgh River. Basically, a cop gets too close to a story, um, so they take his badge and they make him like harbor patrol. It was a recommendation on Netflix that I don't recommend, I guess. So maybe 2 out of 5. Also, Bruce Willis is one of those guys that, for the longest time, he somehow pulled off a balding hair look before he did the shaved head look. But in this, they slick it back as hard as they possibly can with heavy duty hairspray or something. So it's just a very odd look for him. Sarah Jessica Parker. I haven't seen much of the things that she's actually known for. She's pretty in this, but again, she's probably like 25 at the time. In the early 90s, she hasn't done Sex in the City or any of that kind of stuff yet. So, yeah, it was fine. It was something that happened. It was only 100. It's under 2 hours. The director also did. It looks like the original Roadhouse, which also was fine. I think. The remake, that's all a separate conversation, but I think the remake with Jake Gyllenhaal was honestly much better, much more fun. From there, I watched Hatari. This is from 1962. So way back, John Wayne times, or Steve McQueen, that kind of vibe. And this is a John Wayne set in Africa about people who collect animals for zoos. Obviously, I don't think they could maybe make this movie the same way they made it then now, but a lot of the actual camera work is actually pretty interesting. Considering it's from 1962, thinking about how they did some of the action shots in this are pretty cool. There's not a whole actual plot to the movie, so I don't know if it really. It's fun. I don't know if it's good. Um, Hayden and I are going to be talking about this for this week's episode of the Movie Bros, so we'll talk a little bit more about it then. The music is really great. Henry Mancini is the composer, who was a big name for a long, long time. Looking at his discography, he did, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Creatures from the Black Lagoon. He did 163 movie. He was a composer for 163, which is crazy. And they're all vastly different. They're looking at it's all over the place. So super cool. And then the other things that I watched this week, the two shows were season 1 and season 2 of Daredevil. I've seen these before, but it's been. I think the original season came out in 2015, so it might have been over a decade since I've seen it. Those are on Netflix before the property got bought by Disney, because it's technically Marvel, which is now owned by either way. So they made a couple seasons on Netflix, which are really gritty, really good. And then they made a couple newer seasons on Disney, and I haven't seen those. So I feel like before I watch this, I kind of wanted to rewatch the originals. So it's like 8 to 10 episodes, each episode being like 50-ish minutes. So that's probably where most of my movie watching time this week went. It is very good. It's one of those, like, it's technically superhero, but it's way more vigilante. There's no like superpowers. It's just like, I don't know. It's much more grounded in reality, which I really appreciate. And it's definitely adult, to say the least. That was the nice thing about Netflix, because they're like, well, it's not, Netflix is not really something that was, especially in 2015, was like, oh, bring your kids to watch Daredevil. As Disney Plus, I always find it fascinating where, like, oh, you can watch something on Disney Plus, because Disney Plus also has Hulu, and sometimes Hulu has some pretty adult stuff on it. And then next it'll be like, oh, and then there's also Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which seems as a wild recommendation. I don't know. So that's what I watched. Yeah, it's just been another week. What did I say? Episode 93 or 94 or whatever. So 93 or 94 weeks of doing this, and we'll see how long this continues. Who knows? Because again, these episodes sometimes are only like 10 minutes, if that. So it's not a huge, chunk out of my day or anything to put it together. But yeah, like I said, Hayden and I are going to be talking about Hatari this coming week. But the second half or second third of this podcast is usually like an update of my normal day-to-day week. Very busy at work. Got some good dives in this week. Got some pottery back from firing, which is always exciting. Got some photography, film photos back. Still getting some car work done. Slowly outfitting the new apartment to be, my apartment and not this space that I'm living in, if that makes sense. Yeah, getting a haircut here in just about an hour should be good to kind of get rid of some weight before the summer really kicks off, because it's been blue sky, sunny, wonderful. Yeah, it's ups and downs, gutters and strikes, as as you do. And that's kind of been it. Otherwise, you can, find this podcast wherever. You can find the Movie Bros if you're curious, because again, that's a little bit more long form content. We'll see if I come back to video or not. I don't know. Either way, I will catch you all, I guess, next week.